And we're live. I'm here with Jennica Wheeler, who is the Chief Operating Officer for Pallas Athena Women's Fighting Championships, which is an up-and-coming show over in Canada that I'm just crazy about, giving lots of opportunity to female fighters, a lot of North American fighters, but also some European and UK talent on your cards as well. Jennica, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for having me and the ability to represent Pallas Athena. I truly appreciate it.
There's so many questions I want to ask you, but like, where did the name even come from? Pallas Athena, where did that come from, and what does it mean?
Pallas Athena. Athena is the goddess of Warcraft, and she represents like a strong woman that watches over the civilians and the citizens, but is not afraid to take a stand and be strong in order to to make sure that everything runs smoothly and everything is safe. So I feel like the name is very fitting, to be honest with you. I think for a league that's female, talking and representing strength from within a female role, I think it's spot on.
I absolutely love that. And
Mm.
obviously, yeah, we've touched on that there. It is a female only promotion. What was the reasoning behind that? Why did you guys want to give more opportunity to female athletes?
So I'm sure you can see, just even with the bigger platforms, like there are definitely female fighters and they have them on their cards, and every once in a while they're the main event, but they're not given the same opportunity as female athletes. But that doesn't mean that there's not as many out there. I can
Yeah.
tell you personally, just from Pallas Athena, we've only been active and for a short duration. We're a fairly new company, but we have a fairly deep roster of fighters that we can pull from, and we get registrations for fighters, truly, honestly, like every other day, at least 3 to 4 a week. And when we're in our high
Wow.
time, it's more than that. So the capacity is out there. We just felt the need to give them the platform, right? And honestly, they put on a great show. Like, they go out there and they really give it their all. And I think that's one of the biggest things that
Yeah.
we're lucky to be able to have that capacity to be able to offer this platform for the female fighters. But I think also, like, it's not even just about our luck. It's about like the viewership and the fighters to be able to showcase. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what our viewpoint is on that.
One of the things I love about it as well is that one of the issues that we seem to have with female fights is if a fight falls through, there's not another female that's able to step in to replace. So a lot of the time that means that fight is completely scratched from the card for both fighters.
Mhm.
Whereas you have this kind of database of fighters that you can get replacements from like I know Lexi, for example, who I spoke to, she's had a
Mhm.
couple of changes of opponent and her fight is still on. So
Yeah.
that's just a massive bonus, I think, for people
Uh,
training for a fight.
Well, I think one of the main factors that I always like to bring to light is we have a great matchmaker. We really, really do. And he's from the UK. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kieran Kettle.
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's British. He's from the UK, and our we're very fortunate because he's a world champion Muay Thai fighter, and who's fought in 50 different countries. So he has that outreach, which is given us not just within the North American platform to be able to find fighters, but our reach has been so worldwide now that it's actually been able to support being able to find fighters from everywhere, to be able to just make sure that our card keeps running. So we're very fortunate. And plus, with the word being out there, we have so many fighters, like I was saying, that are emailing and registering to be a part of our database. Which, just a little plug, you can go to our website and register as a fighter, and we'll add you to the database. And that's where Kieran likes to find some of his matches from.
Oh, I love that. How many fighters are on the database at the moment? Have you got any idea?
Mhm. Yeah, we're definitely in the mid 300s. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
You said you're kind of at the beginning of this, really. I think this is the third show, right?
Yeah, we've only had 3. So this event on March the 9th is our third event. We had a launch event to kind of just bring some light and have some excitement behind, like this is really coming to fruition. We're really doing this. This is amazing. And then we had our first event was in the middle of COVID, and and we weren't stopping. Restriction came, and it was like all of these kind of like barriers, but we were like, no, these fighters have been training for
Yeah,
months. That's what it comes down to. We're going to hold an event even if the venue is empty, because it is about being able to showcase the fighters, giving them that platform. And you know what, we don't need a full venue to be able to record and have great footage of them. It really
yeah.
was an opportunity that we were like, nope, we're just going to keep going forward. This is for the fighters. And I think that was one thing too, that we were able to show, like, our passion isn't just about, oh, we didn't have a full venue, we couldn't sell. It is truly about being able to have that production and to be able to give that opportunity for the fighter to be able to showcase, because it's not just us, right? Like, yeah, we can build up their record on Tapology and all of those kind of sites, but it also is about the opportunity for the fighters to fight, right? To be able
Yeah.
to get in there. It's different than training just with their gym mates and things like that. Like,
Mhm.
it's different when that cage door closes and it's just you and them and the ref. Like, it's different, right? So it's important for Pallas that we honestly give that opportunity to the fighters, and we're doing it. We're just going forward. So.
That's amazing because those shows are not cheap to put on, the staff you have to hire, the production. I mean, I know how much those things cost, and the fact that you still put that on for the fighters when maybe only sold some pay-per-views and no seats in the venue, I just think is incredible.
Mhm. Yeah, well, it definitely costs. It definitely costs. Like, let's be realistic, it costs, but we are at the very early stages. So to be honest with you, like, it's step by step, right? Like,
Yeah.
we have to build that notoriety. We're very fortunate right now that we have the notoriety in amongst the fighters. Like, worldwide, we have the notoriety. People who have fought on our card have said, like, wow, like, we feel like Pallas Athena is our home, like, so we have that notoriety. We welcome fighters. We want to build this community. We want this platform for fighters to really feel confident in, that we, like I said, that we're just going to keep going forward, right? Like, this
Yeah.
is what it's about. It's about the fighter, right? Like, if you've trained for 3 months, we're not just going to just like all of a sudden be like, oh, the whole event is canceled, I'm sorry guys. No, it's about like, hey, like, let's do this. Let's do this for you. Let us do it. So we built that notoriety in amongst the fighters, but we just have to continue, and nothing's built in one day, right? So we're
Yeah.
just going to keep building the brand and supporting our athletes. And you know I believe that our positive treatment and behavior towards them will then make them feel confident, and they'll understand, like, it's important that they promote, and then they get the word out, and all of that just kind of comes together, right?
Well, yeah, everybody I've spoken to who's fought on the show has been so positive about every aspect, from the way they've been treated and looked
Mhm,
after, the production of the show, just how professional it is.
mhm,
Just everybody's got nothing but good words to say about it. I
mhm,
think one thing that I'm just really pleased about is that you're giving girls from Europe and the UK an opportunity as well, because that's got to be expensive for you guys as well. And there's probably a lot of girls in Canada and the US that are closer. So tell me what the reasoning was behind flying people over from here, because it's quite a long way, and adds to the cost for you.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's not like the international flights aren't cheaper, and then we bring them in too a little bit early,
Yeah,
so that they can, like, climatize to the difference, right? Like, they're coming from a different environment, and so we just honestly, like, why restrict us? Why do that, right? Like, and honestly, like, you think about it, like, we had Dakota Devechin on our first card, and she is amazing, right?
yeah,
So why would we want to restrict ourselves geographically to the talent, right? Like
Yeah,
we have some great girls coming out of the UK, Australia, Brazil. Like it's it is a platform for females, and it's not just North American, it's worldwide. So honestly, like, let's just put on a wicked show. Let's give them the opportunity. I'm sorry, my excitement is going to show because I love it. I love it. I love standing cage side and watching it. It's just like you just see their passion and they're just like so skilled. So, I think that's the thing, right? Like let's just give everybody the opportunity because the talent is everywhere. The talent is
yeah.
genuinely everywhere. Yeah.
So this next show, March the 9th, I'm really excited because some of my favourites are on the card. We've got Kate Bassick is fighting for the title in the main event
Mhm.
against Larissa Carvalho. Can you tell me
Yes.
about that fight?
So, well, Larissa has fought. She was supposed to come on our first card. There were some issues with some visa issues, and then the next fight she came and she fought Andy Nguyen from the US. And honestly, she really was like, I can do it. Like I'm telling you, let's do the title fight. And then Kieran found Kate, and we're like, oh, this is going to be a good one. Like why not give them the opportunity to have that fight for the title match and the
Yeah.
title belt. But like you just start watching some of their videos, and you just see the impact. And I'm excited. I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I can tell you, like, because it's I don't want to say we favor one over the other because I really believe that they both have some really strong skills, and I just am
Yeah.
excited. And I've been watching Kate's reels that she sent to us, and I'm like, oh, you can see it. There's a hunger, and when there's that hunger, there is going to be that excitement. Yeah, I don't know. See, I'm going to get too excited. I can tell in my voice already.
I don't know much about Larissa, but Kate,
Mhm,
I've been at a lot of her fights. She's incredible. She will bring it. She's
mhm.
very skilled. She trains at GB Top Team, which is an
Yeah,
incredible gym over here.
yeah.
The head coach, Brad Pickett. She's
Mhm,
going to have an amazing corner, an amazing game plan. So, if you're saying Larissa's a really strong opponent, then
yeah.
that could be absolute fireworks.
Yes. Yeah, see? Isn't that exciting? I see. I just turned into like this little kid. I'm like, that's the excitement. And see, the basis behind it, and now you just add that little extra excitement, and for everybody, right? Like so it's I don't know, it's going to be something to tune into, that's for sure.
And then I mentioned Lexi Rook earlier. Lexi, she's fought on one of your previous shows
Mhm.
and she won the fight of the night on that.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
know that she's been putting in incredible work at Team Renegade.
Yeah.
Even just like, I mean, the amount of training that she puts on Instagram, that girl is always in the gym and you can just see her body composition. She's just like
Mhm.
kind of building muscle mass. I just think she's been out for longer than she wanted to be.
Mhm.
She will be coming with a point to prove, and I would expect her to have added levels to her game since the last one.
I agree. And you know what I really like about bringing back fighters is that we are going to watch them and their evolution, right?
Yes.
Like that's exciting, right? Like so you're talking about Lexi, and you're right. When you start watching the changes that she has, like on her Instagram from when she first fought with us, like it's it's going to be exciting, right? Because I'm excited to
Yeah.
see that evolution unfold in the cage. That's going to be
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
So how big are you guys dreaming and building for Pallas Athena? What's the ultimate goal? What are you trying to achieve with the whole promotion?
Well, we definitely have some long-term goals. That's really like this is just the beginning. It truly is just the beginning. So we are in this present year planning on building the brand within Canada. And we know that there's opportunity within America as well. We've already had conversations with some commissions out there that are really keen on us trying to come down there. So I think that there's opportunity to grow, and I think that it would be silly for us to not just keep moving forward, and especially with the relationship that we have with fighters, like
Yeah.
that's an important component to our growth, and to just keep building on that positive note and just keep building for the athlete with the athlete. And so we do have some long-term goals of you know in the present time, we're going to be building our brand within and our notoriety within Canada and worldwide. The notoriety, we'll build a brand in Canada, but then we do look at the option of branching out into the US. We've had some conversations already, so it's one step at a time, but there's definitely, and as we grow, the more opportunities that we're going to give to fighters, right? So
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful concept. I love it.
Yeah, and I guess you'll see where it takes you, like
Mhm.
which stars you end up building and where
Mhm.
they're popular. I'm sure that will have something to do with it as well.
Yeah, well, and I don't think that we're opposed to leaving North America either
Hmm.
for events. Like, I don't know. I think like we've had some conversations about the idea of even like a really epic one, like in an actual kind of coliseum kind of thing. Like, pass. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
amazing? Right? Like it would, in the we'd have to make sure the sun wasn't beaming too much because you don't want it in the fighter's eyes. But like to really go along, because that is the roots of it, right? Like when
Yeah.
we really get down to MMA, like we get down to gladiators, and like that is a beautiful concept to me. It's like full circle, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that would be very cool. And
Yeah.
also sign me up for the first one here as well.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, definitely, definitely.
I love that though, and I love what you're building. Are any of the fighters on multi-fight contracts, or are they all single fights at the moment?
No, they are right now. They're all single fight contracts. Andy Nguyen, she's our only fighter who was on a multi fight contract. That is ending on this fight, but we're not opposed to the multi fight contract. And one thing that's important for us when we sign them up to multi fight contracts are that they can actually they're they're contracted to fight for us, but we're not opposed to them fighting for other promotions, because we don't, if they're not coming on the next fight, we don't want them to get cage rest, right? Like we want them to
Yeah.
be out there, we want them to be sharpening the skills, and that's one of our main goals, is to make sure that the fighter is out there, like we in our long-term goal, we would like to build a sponsorship team that is just based around fighters, so that they can have the opportunity to not have that worry in the back of their mind, right? Like, oh, I have to work this job, I have to be able to pay for this, I have to pay for that. If we can build a sponsorship team so that they can solely focus on their sharpening their craft, like that is, we really, really, our main goal is to give the opportunity for fighters to be able to grow their skill. So we don't right now have any fighters on multi-fight contracts other than
Mm.
Andy that's ending, but our goal is to have people on multi-fight contracts, but not to lock them in.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
again just really giving fighters a lot of opportunity and
Mhm.
um the ability to fight on other cards as well is really important and just and really good for them. I can't think of a promotion that's putting the fighter first in so many ways, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, so we really are a company that is built by a fighter, for like with the fighter's perspective, and it
Mm.
is really one of our true values to make sure that that is what is carried on, no matter how big we grow. The understanding is that we want the company to be about fighters and from the fighter's perspective, and we really, I think that's one of our main points that are catching with fighters, that they see that we value them, like they
Yeah,
really are like important to the company, right? Like the company can't exist without fighters who feel like that they can grow and be a part of
yeah.
it. Yeah. Mhm.
And to that point, I was going to ask you about where people can purchase the pay-per-view link, and you
Mhm.
said you didn't want people to use the generic Pallas Athena one because the fighters get commission if people use their name when or their personalized link. So
Yeah.
if anybody is buying the pay-per-view for a certain fighter, how can they buy it to ensure that the fighter's going to get the commission for that link?
Yeah, so all of our fighters have personalized codes that they're sharing on their social media. But so you go to
Right.
millions.co under Pallas and you go to your purchase, and on your checkout you add the fighters code, and it actually is their last name. So it's a little more individualized because sometimes
Yeah.
people have the same first name, but yeah, it's I wouldn't say, I don't want to say that it's more important, but it really is more important to me that the fighters, when we're going and we're advertising, my preference really would be that people use the codes that the fighters use so that they're getting a part of the return, right? Like
Yeah.
that's and why not? Why not support the athletes? Like that they're the ones that are putting, their physical well-being on the line, and you know this is about them. So give them the opportunity, use their codes, millions.co at Pallas Athena 3, and find your fighter. Find them, connect with them, find that code, support them, right? Yeah.
Well, I love that because these girls are, who are going over from the UK, I'm normally at their fights, so I'm normally buying tickets from them, or at least there to physically support them. So
Yeah.
this is a way that you can still support even if you can't
Mhm.
be there.
Yeah, it's right. And you're right. And because we're so like worldwide known, it's important that is still an offered element is the pay-per-view, right? Like cuz
Yeah,
we're bringing in fighters, they're not selling seats. That's not what they're doing. So their kickback isn't what it should be, right? So
yeah.
it's important that when we are filling out that pay-per-view that we're putting in at checkout their last name so that we can really get the support behind them.
And for the people who can get to the venue, is that where they
Mhm.
buy the physical tickets as well?
Oh yeah, you can buy physical tickets at the venue, but we're also our ticket sales are show pass it's show pass. It's at show pass Pallas Athena 3 at showpass dot com.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I just love everything that you're doing. I love the opportunity that you're giving to female athletes. I think it's so important. I really
Mhm.
like the shows. I really like the matchups and the fights you're putting on. And I just wish you every success for Pallas Athena 3 on March the 9th.
Mhm.
Before we go, is there anyone else that you wanted to shout out, or anything else that you wanted to say about the promotion or anything?
Yeah, well, so we are a fairly new promotion, but I would just like to speak about the notoriety that we have supporting us. And we've had supporting us since day one. So, Felicia Spencer is our cage side commentator and has been since day one. And she is really a big advocate for what we're doing because she sees it. She sees it
Yeah.
what you see is we're here for the fighter, right? Like, and these are women that have, been through promotions and have seen the differences, and she's really a huge advocate for us. And then of course Chris Cyborg has been with us from day one,
That
right?
was
And
amazing having her, like, I saw all the girls having their photo with her, like, that is, if you're a female fighter,
Mhm.
there's nothing more inspiring than meeting Chris Cyborg and speaking to her, like,
She's
absolute
paved the way.
legend. Yeah,
Yeah, she's paved the way. She's literally paved the way for the female fighter in so many different ways, right? And
yeah,
she has her own promotion, but she still is truly behind Pallas Athena. And it's so wonderful to watch the interviews in person where fighters are like, "Whoa, this is Chris Cyborg interviewing me," right? And then they take a photo with her, but that's what it's about, right? Like it is
yeah,
really about the idea that like we have these legends here because this is your outlook. Like this is you. Like this is you have the capacity to get here. Like it's so great for these two women to be supporting our athletes
yeah.
and our promotion to be able to give the opportunity to the athletes. And then, you know, We have, another big name. Not to overshadow the names of Chris Cyborg or Felicia Spencer, but Chuck Liddell.
I
He's
saw that
coming.
on your Instagram, like, that is
Yeah, yeah,
unreal. I got to
yeah,
interview him once. He was
yeah.
every bit when people say don't meet your heroes, they haven't met Chuck Liddell. Like,
Um,
you are gonna love having him there.
well, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I've heard he is like, he's really like down to earth and grounded, and we're really fortunate too. Like he heard about us and was like, "Wow, this is something I can get behind." So he's coming out on March the 9th. He'll be out on March the 9th to support us at our event. Chris Cyborg and Felicia Spencer are coming a few days beforehand to be a part of the interviews. They have a meet and greet the day before on March the 8th at the Marriott Hotel between two and 4 for our fighters mock weigh-in. That's always fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's we're really trying to put it together so that the fighters have the opportunities and ability to grow and see, and honestly with these other legends coming in, they can see the path forward, right? So we're really fortunate. We're fortunate on many fronts. We're fortunate to have these legends that see the value in what we're trying to build. We're fortunate that the fighters are seeing the value in what we're trying to build for them, and we've got the audience that are catching on, and because it is about building a brand and then getting the brand out there. So also, Katie, thank you very much. Like, thank you very much for this opportunity for us to be able to have this platform to be able to showcase what we're trying to build as well. So thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. I am very happy to get behind anyone who is treating fighters the way that you guys are, and I wish you every success. You're doing so much great work, and long may it continue. And I hope that you can have long and continued success.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's important, right? Like, it's important that we keep this going. It's important that we support the athletes, and in a way where it gives them the opportunity to foster. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And
Mhm.
I'm wishing you all the very best for March the 9th. And I hope it's another amazing show. And,
Mhm.
each one goes from strength to strength. So I'm expecting big things from this one and really excited to see it all.
Yeah, it's going to be, so we have a couple of Muay Thai fights as well, just to kind of blend it in a little bit. It's honestly, it's going to be a show. Like, it is going to be a show. So we're excited, and we hope that the fans are excited.
I'm definitely excited and I'll be spreading the word here.
Yes.
I'd
Yeah.
love to catch up with you again in the future
Mhm.
and find out how things are going. But thank you so much for your time today. Much appreciated.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks for having me and Pallas Athena. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take care.